How's it going, guys? This is TechWare Tactical again. I got something new. This is actually part of the previous purchases that I've made when it comes to ammo pouches. This is actually also for the AK pattern, but this is actually East German. It's got the rain pattern on it. It has a little bit of a different build, as you can see, with the way these are set up. It's not just a simple snap as the other ones were. These are a little bit harder to open. If you just grab it directly from the middle with both sides down, it becomes a little more difficult to open. But since it's German, and especially it's old school German, the build quality is far superior than the Russian made ones or any of the Comblock ones. The snaps are cleaner, they're better quality. Inside, it's also a little bit different too. The material looks like it's different as well. It's still incredibly rugged. I still like it. It's still a great deal if you are really broke and you need kind of a way to kind of almost redneck your way into a gun belt. Because this will carry three pouches. I think this one might be a fourth one too. You can carry 4 pouches, and this will work for AR mags as well. It's not just strict AK pattern. They had this in mind even back then, so it'll work for that as well. And I still like that it still has that little side pouch. There we go. That little side pouch that is meant for the thing that I can't say on YouTube. I still like it though because you can actually fit the most popular thing that a lot of ham users use, which is this. This is the Meerkat version, but it's a Bofang. They're so cheap, it's hard to not have one. For the cost of $60 to get into that and just to have it on hand, it's kind of invaluable. Granted, the antenna was extra and I got the larger battery pouch, but it fits inside here. If I can manage to do this, I managed to do this single-handedly. It will actually fit, I promise. Man on my word. Oh boy, this must make such entertaining content. Struggling to fit Chinese Bofang in old Milsurp pouches. There we go. So it does indeed fit. With the smaller antenna that comes stock on it, it will be a lot easier. But it does fit. It does go all the way down. And it does indeed close. So for the low cost of most places that I've seen these, it's about maybe $15, maybe $20. And you can have, theoretically, a grab-and-go little piece of kit for $15 that you can throw on a belt and have ammunition, mags, comms, and basically just run out the door with it. And that's pretty invaluable in a time like this where there's a lot of, let's call it, hostilities against people in the world, depending on where you're from. So I find that really invaluable. I've seen a decent amount of videos out of the Middle East, and certain groups were very fond of things like this because there isn't many groups out there in the way of government in the Middle East that is going to care much if you're using a ham radio without a license. Now, obviously, if you're in the US or any other place like that, they're going to care a lot, actually. And they will lock you up if you're doing it without a license. In the Middle East, not so much. They kind of have other concerns. But, I mean, for $15, it's a pretty great deal. And if not, it's a great little just piece that you can have in your collection. Maybe just keep some spare mags in it, like some backup mags, and stuff it in the back of your truck. Maybe use it to also keep some mags in and just use it for range trips, just so that they're not, loose inside of your range bag. Maybe you want to take more than one rifle round, rifle caliber to the range. Well, you can throw it in this and you can clearly see, okay, well, that one has this caliber in it and the other one has the other caliber in it. That's perfect. So it's got a lot of uses. I've said in the previous video, it's pouches like this and the other military surplus pouches that I've featured on this channel are quickly becoming the new ammo cans, where it's, what can I do with this where it's not for the intended purpose, but it's still a great little project. I've seen people dye these like a pretty dark black, like almost like a black multicam, but a black rain pattern, and it looks pretty good. You can dye it, you can cut it up if you want to use it, the pattern for something else. Maybe you want this style, but you don't want it in rain pattern. Well, if you're handy with a sewing machine, you could theoretically make this exact thing in any pattern that you could really conceive of. So again, maybe there's something for that. Maybe you want to start a business doing that. Maybe repros of Soviet era stuff, but with more modern materials like Cordura or whatever. So that's really something interesting. And this is just me talking off the top of my head, as most of my videos are. I don't script anything out. I kind of just like talking about what I think and what I like. So thank you so much, guys. And I actually lost some of the other videos where it is stuff like this, so I'll be reshooting those today. It probably won't be put on the channel today, but I'll be spreading them out over the course of New Year's. And since this is technically the end of the first year of this channel, even though I haven't been posting all year, we are on New Year's Eve. We're going into 2021. We can hope that it will be better. I just don't see it getting much better. That's just me personally. So for the low cost of $15 just to have a small peace of mind, there's definitely stupider ways to spend $15. There is. If you can think of something in a day that you've spent $10, $15 on a DVD at Walmart, even though you could have found it somewhere else, or maybe you have Amazon Prime and you could have got it on there, but you got it from a Walmart instead, well, there's $5 there. So if you did that a couple times in different places, well, you have the cost of this. And since it's military surplus, it's held up since the fall of the wall. It was probably built before then, and it's still held up. It still looks pristine for the most part. I can't even get over that. It still looks like it just came out of the factory. I don't even think it doesn't even have like the military surplus smell that we've talked about, which is just, mildew on canvas. It doesn't even have that smell, which I think is kind of amazing. It just kind of astonishes me how well this holds up. So thank you so much, guys, and I'm going to get started on those other videos. See you soon.